So what we do here is take all the information you send our way, articles, notes, maybe some research, and we boil it down, find those key insights that just, well, click, make you feel like you really get it fast.
Mhm.
And today, we're kind of hitting the road mentally, at least. We're looking at this great conversation from the English podcast show, Travel and Tales.
Yeah, it's between Alex, who sounds like he's been everywhere, and Jess, a digital nomad. We're focusing on that pull of travel, the thrill of the journey they talk about.
Exactly. We've got these excerpts from their chat, and they're full of these really vivid firsthand stories, experiences that genuinely changed them.
Right. And our mission, our goal for this deep dive is to dig into what makes travel so powerful, so compelling for so many people. We want to pull out those moments that really hit home and figure out, well, why they're so meaningful.
Okay, let's dive in then. Jess starts with this idea that travel is addictive
Hmm.
because it mixes struggle with, like, total awe.
Yeah, that combination, the tough parts and the absolutely amazing parts.
It makes you think, doesn't it,
Yeah.
about why we seek out those intense feelings,
Mhm.
pushing our boundaries. What's driving that?
It's a really interesting point, that interplay, challenge, and reward. It taps into something, well, pretty fundamental, I think.
How so?
Well, think about, learning a new skill. It's hard at first, maybe frustrating, but then you master it, and there's that huge satisfaction, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Travel
completely.
often does that on a bigger scale. It pushes you way out of your comfort zone, and then bam, you're rewarded with these incredible views or insights. It sort of echoes other parts of life, doesn't it?
Totally. And speaking of incredible views, Jess talks about paragliding in Aludnis in Turkey.
Oh, yeah. That sounded amazing.
Can you imagine just running off a cliff essentially and then floating? It's unbelievable turquoise water below. She said it was pure freedom, like being a bird,
Mm-hmm. That feeling.
limitless.
Oh.
What is it about that specific feeling? Even if it's just for a few minutes, why is that so captivating?
Well, that pure freedom idea, it really speaks to, I think, a deep human desire. We want to break free from limits, from the everyday grind.
Right. Escape.
Exactly. And it's such a physical, visceral feeling, so different from our normal routines. That contrast makes the memory incredibly strong. And the visual she described, just wow, really heightens that sense of awe.
Okay, now switching it up a bit, Alex's story. Hitchhiking through Patagonia.
Very different vibe, yeah.
Totally different intensity.
Yeah.
He uses words like magical and terrifying for the uncertainty. Just him, the raw landscape, relying on whoever stopped.
Less of that immediate adrenaline rush Jess had, maybe more about embracing the unknown, letting go.
Yeah. How does that kind of experience where you have so little control affect you differently, do you think?
Well, we just got that burst of exhilarating freedom. Alex's journey seems to foster a different kind of liberation. It's more about releasing control, being totally present, relying on strangers, the unpredictable road. It can be scary, sure, but also incredibly rewarding. It builds resilience, maybe even trust in a weird way.
Which is a perfect link to this theme that kept coming up, the kindness of strangers.
Oh, definitely. That was huge for both of them.
Jess's story in Marrakech really stood out. She's lost, phone's dead, totally disoriented.
Yeah, nightmare scenario.
And then this older man just walks her back to her hostel.
Mhm.
Doesn't want anything for it. Just helps.
Wow.
It's those moments, isn't it? That unexpected kindness that just hits you. Why do those stick with us so much?
I think what's amazing is how those moments just cut through everything, language barriers, cultural differences. They reveal this basic human connection.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the vulnerability you feel when you're traveling. It opens you up to receiving that empathy, perhaps. Reminds us we're all kind of in it together.
exactly. Alex had similar stories too, didn't he? People giving him food, rides.
Shelter, even. Out in the middle of nowhere sometimes.
He said it was humbling. And it really makes you question your assumptions about, the world being a scary place.
Right. Stepping outside your bubble lets you see that inherent goodness, as he put it.
And these experiences, especially the challenging ones, they're not just stories, are they? They lead to actual personal growth.
For sure. Jess explicitly said travel made her more patient, more empathetic.
And better at laughing at herself.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
How does that happen, do you think? Navigating weird situations, meeting all sorts of people.
Yeah.
How does that build those qualities?
Well, think about her story eating goat brains in Vietnam by accident.
Oh, God.
Just that willingness to try something so far out there, even if it wasn't exactly delicious, and then look back and laugh, that shows real adaptability. Self-awareness, too.
Mm-hmm. What's the value in those slightly awkward or oops moments when you travel?
Well, those unexpected bits, the little mishaps, They force you to adapt, right? To think on your feet.
Yeah, you have to roll with it.
And learning to navigate that, and like Jess, find the humor in it, that builds resilience. Flexibility, skills you use back home too.
Totally. And Alex eating the fermented shark in Iceland.
Ugh, yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Those really unusual, maybe even unpleasant experiences become key parts of the travel story itself. They make it unique.
And sometimes those stories feel like they could be scenes from a movie.
Oh, definitely.
Alex getting caught in that crazy snowstorm in the Himalayas, huddled in a tiny tea hut, supplies running low,
Sounds intense.
and then waking up to this absolutely breathtaking sunrise cutting through the clouds. It's got that drama, that contrast. Why are those moments so powerful? The extreme highs and lows.
Well, it seems like the hardship, the struggle beforehand, it actually heightens your appreciation for the good part when it comes.
Oh, right.
The relief, the beauty, it feels amplified because of what came before. It makes the memory way more vivid, more impactful than if it had just been a nice sunrise on a normal day. That contrast burns it into your brain.
Makes sense. And Jess had her own movie moment too, right? Kayaking in the Amazon.
Yeah, during a massive downpour.
And then suddenly, this huge, brilliant rainbow appears across the whole sky. Just, wow. Encountering that raw power of nature.
Unfiltered.
Why do those natural spectacles affect us so deeply?
I think they tap into something, maybe primal, a connection to the sheer scale and beauty of the natural world.
Yeah, puts things in perspective.
Exactly. It reminds you there's something much bigger than your own daily worries. It sparks that sense of wonder we often lose. And you can't plan for a Himalayan sunrise after a blizzard or an Amazonian rainbow, you know? They just happen.
Which really leads to this key point they both made.
Yeah.
Travel is way more than just like checking famous sites off a list.
Definitely not just sightseeing.
Jess said it's about experiencing life in its rawest, most beautiful form. It's those connections, the unexpected stuff.
Precisely. And Alex's idea that adventure can be found anywhere if you have the right mindset.
Right. That shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
not just about where you go.
It's about how you engage with the world. Being curious, open, that can happen anywhere, even in your own town.
And Jess talking about just chatting with people on local trains in India or at food stalls in Thailand.
Those simple interactions.
Those small, authentic moments, she called them. That's often where the real richness is, the genuine insight into another culture.
Absolutely. Those moments give you a much deeper, more personal feel for a place and its people than just hitting the main tourist spots. You're dipping into the actual rhythm of local life, connecting person to person.
So, okay, let's think about someone listening who's got that urge to travel, but they're feeling maybe a bit hesitant. What's the practical advice we can pull from Alex and Jess?
Well, Jess really stressed starting small. Don't feel like you have to plan some epic round-the-world trip first time out.
Right, baby steps.
Yeah. Weekend trips. Try staying in a hostel. Great way to meet people. Try new foods, new activities locally first, maybe. Just gradually push that comfort zone boundary. And I loved her advice to just go anyway. Even if you don't feel 100% ready or prepared, just book it. Go.
That's quite liberating, isn't it? Takes the pressure off needing everything perfect.
It really does. And Alex's points complement that. He talked about just being curious, following that curiosity wherever it leads, and pairing that with this idea of progress over perfection.
I like that. Progress over perfection.
Yeah. It means you don't need a flawless itinerary. Things might go wrong. You might make mistakes. That's okay. That's part of the learning, part of the adventure itself.
So it's really about embracing the whole process, bumps and all.
Exactly. Curiosity drives you, and accepting imperfection allows you to actually enjoy the journey.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive into Alex and Jess's travel stories, we've really seen how that mix of challenge and reward makes for unforgettable experiences.
And the huge impact of simple kindness from strangers.
Yeah, and the real personal growth that comes from stepping outside your routine, facing the unfamiliar.
Plus those incredible, almost unbelievable movie moments that nature or circumstances can throw at you.
And ultimately reminding us that the best kind of travel often goes beyond the surface, beyond just sightseeing, into those authentic human connections and moments.
Right. It's about experiencing life more fully.
So here's a final thought for you, the listener, building on that idea of finding adventure anywhere. Think about a time, maybe recently, maybe just in your own neighborhood, when you intentionally did something different, stepped off your usual path.
What did you notice? What did you discover? Maybe about yourself or just about your surroundings.
And how could consciously bringing that be curious mindset that Alex and Jess embody into your everyday life? How might that uncover new insights or richer experiences, even if you haven't packed a bag?